make a lovely reveal box that's nice for a gift at Christmas or any time of year. You can do this with any sentiments. Okay, I'm going to just a trimmer. Now, what you need is to, sorry, I've got it right way around. It's just I didn't have my blades. We're going to cut our piece of card to 6.5 inches. So this is 6.5 inches. Okay, and then we're going to cut it at 11.5. So 6.5 by 11.5. Make sure we get that. Now this has been inspired by Emma of Emma's Crafty Space, I think she calls herself. But I just thought this is brilliant. My measurements are okay. So on the long side, the 11.5 inch side. Whoa, sorry about that. Has that gone okay? I hope that's not affected. Let's see. Come on. I'm going to have that all the way through again. It's going to annoy me. Sorry about this. Do turn away. Oh yeah, it has. It's come back. No, that's fine. Sorry about that. Okay, so on the long side, we're going to score it at 1.5. Now I'm just going to remove my blade so that I don't do anything silly and chop it when I need to be scoring. So I'm going to put that in at 1.5 inches. Let me just get my scrap of paper that I've just wrote these down on. So 1.5 inches we're going to score. So this is on the 11.5 inch side. So that is 1.5, then 5 inches, 5 inches, and then 6.5. Let me get that right. 6.5, and then 10 inches. So move that along to 10 inches. There. Then on the short side, we're going to score at 1.5 inch. Line that up at your 1.5. Score at 1.5. And then I like to rotate 180 degrees and then score at 1.5. That's my preferred way, and then you're only having to remember one measurement. Okay, so just going to move my trimmer now for a while. Okay, so this is what you've got, and I'm just going to get my template. So it doesn't matter which way you have it facing up because it's exactly the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these two corners. So actually I'm going to burnish it first. Sorry about that. I'll just quickly burnish it. So before we do the cutting. Okay. All of these. Just make sure that you've got it level at either side to give you a nice square box. I'm going to turn that over, make sure that they're level there, and then the last one there. Okay, that's lovely. Right, so again, as I say, it doesn't matter whether you do these top two or these bottom two, but you're just going to do, I'm going to do the bottom two. I'm just going to remove these two squares. So I'm cutting up, not exactly in the middle of the score line, but so that it takes your score line off a bit. Okay, so don't cut into it, don't wedge into it, just keep that nice straight line. So you're just going up, keeping that nice straight line. Okay, and then this corner as well. Okay, So there we go. Keep that nice straight line there. Okay, so that's those two gone. And now we're going to turn it either side, it doesn't matter. And again, we're just cutting, keeping that nice straight line. But I'm then going to wedge this. So I'm going to take a wedge off there and do the same at the other side. So I'm cutting up. So I'm keeping that nice straight line on the longer section here, and then on the tab I'm just cutting up. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the same up here, and then do my wedges on my tab. Okay, let's just move those out of the way. Then turn it round so that you've now got those you've cut at the top, and do repeat exactly the same. So we're doing a nice straight line up to that score line. We are then going to wedge. I'm then going to cut up the next one. And then if you can see, let me just try and show you. Can you see that my score line is all on this tab? So I've cut so that there's none of the score line left on there. And then obviously the score line gets cut off because I wedge it. Okay. And then the last one. So again, I'm cutting up. So the score line is on the tab, and then I'm going to cut off there and wedge here. Okay, now we need to start putting our DSP on first. So I've pushed all my things out of the way with the DSP. Oh, they're right before my eyes and I can't see. Okay, so the DSP, I've got striped, and I'm going to put my stripe sidewards. If you haven't got a directional paper, you can put it anywhere you like. Okay, now I'm just going to decide on which one. So I'm just gluing up ready, but I'm not going to stick it on because I'm just going to fold my box to see. I don't want that as the top, I want that as the bottom. So I want this one as the bottom. So can you see, let's show you again. That's the tab, and we actually are going to wedge this one. So this was where we had those corners cut off, and we want to just wedge this because it's going to be the tab to glue it down. Okay, so again, I'll just show you. So your tab will be coming up, this will be folding over, and that will be coming over the top of there. So that will, I want facing down. So this is going to be my top. So if you look, it's the opposite end to the tab. Okay, so I'm going to put my piece of DSP here, and this measures 3 3/8 by 3 3/8 because it is a square. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I've got that close as I can in the middle. Okay, and put that. Now I'm going to take a ruler, and I'm going to go from the corner of my card where my score line is to the corner of the card there. Okay, but I'm only going to put a mark in the middle. So I'm going to put a mark there. So can we see that? Just about there. I've put a mark there. And then I'm going to do the same the other way. So I'm going to put the corner of that where your corner is on your card, just there, and your other corner, and I'm going to just cross that there. All I'm wanting to do is find the middle of my card. Now, I'm not doing it with the DSP in case I got the DSP slightly wonky or anything. I'm doing it to my card. So there is what I'm calling the corner, just there. So I put my ruler level with that and then level with that. Okay, and that's when I did a little mark, and the same, I did the corner there to the corner there, and I've put my mark there. Now, the Give It a Whirl dies are great for making reveal cards, etc. And I've got, oh, it's here, sorry, it's down here. Right, so I'm using this shape out of them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up. So I'm putting it on a corner like that, but I'm going to line up so that I've got that exactly in the center of there. Now I am going to use a bit of post-it note. So I've just got a bit of post-it note, and I'm just going to rip a bit of post-it note up so that that's where the sticky bit is, because I want it to stay exactly on that point. I'm just going to stick that down, and then I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So I'm going to get a plate now, because it's 6.5. It's just hanging over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in, because hopefully that will have no effect on this. So it won't matter if it takes a little bit off. I should be okay, hopefully. Right, so I'm going to bring my Big Shot in, and I'm going to put that plate in. Now I tend to just run it in until I know it's gone over that die, and then take it back again, because I don't want to have to use brand new plates all the time, because sometimes you get little bits of pattern on it. So I'm just going to gently remove that there, and now where that middle is, it stayed in perfect shape there. I'm just going to go in. I've got a punch. It is a very, very small punch, and I'm going to look for the middle and just punch that down. So as you can see, I've done it exactly in the middle. Now we've got the brads that are round and square brads, and I've chosen the white one. I'm just going to say, yes, that will work. Yeah, no problem. So this is quite tiny, so you can buy crocodile ones and all sorts. This is very tiny. I'm not, let's see if I can gauge what it is. It's not quite 2 centimeters in inches. Is it a 16th? Yeah, it is. It's the 16th of an inch punch, it is. You don't want too big ones. If you haven't got one of them, the pokey tool would be excellent. So just use our Stampin' and Pierce mat, and just put it on and just press it down, and that will give you exactly the same if you don't take it too far down. So if you just get it punched through, don't take it up to this bit, just leave it at the bottom. As you see, there's quite a point on there, so if you use that, that will do. Oops. Okay, right, let's move those out of the way. Okay, so let me just while we die cutting, let's do our next bit of die cutting. There we go. So you could use that on another project if you want. I'm going to move that out of the way, and I have got some white card, and now I'm going to cut out the circle one. So it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out, and I've just left an extra bit of room in here so that I'm not scratching about on the very edge of it. So, the colour that I'm using is Soft Succulent, and this measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. So I'm just going to run that through my die cutting machine. Okay. And you will see that it gives you these nice clear 3 places, okay, to do that. And you can see it already puts your hole in there, so that's great. And I want one in Soft Succulent, so exactly the same. I've got the Soft Succulent one, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine as well. Okay. Now what I need to do, so well, I've still got my die cutting machine. On your green one, your Soft Succulent, you need to bring back in that die and just match it up completely with your hole, so you can see it matches completely with your hole, and then you can see exactly where those bumps are. If you can see that, that fits exactly over, and I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to make sure it's exactly lined up, and I'm going to stick my tape over the top there, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. Okay, now unfortunately you do need a bigger size machine. Our mini will not work for this. It's just a little bit too wide. So again, I'm not taking it all the way through, I'm only taking it so far through, and that has cut out that bit. So that's going to be where our reveal window is. So I'm carefully taking off this, and then seem to have got the bit, and I'm going to do the same with the white. So again, I'm going to be lining it up with the hole, so you can see there, and making sure I'm lining it exactly with these. You'll be able to see it properly when you've got it yourself. Now I'm using 1 or 2 sets today, so I'm using the Give It a Whirl die set. Now I do think that this die set is a wonderful die set to have, because not only can you use it as doing like reveal windows, reveal cards, and my reveal box that I'm making, but it's got so many lovely dies in it. So I just want to show you the dies, so you can see. Now it has got this lovely scalloped edge one. It's got hearts in it, it's got these stars in it, clouds, little holes here, arrows that you can cut out, these 3 different size hearts, your circle, your rectangle. It's got like a banner. So there is so many things with it, and then you've got your main bit to cut out when you're doing your cards. So you've got it's done it again, don't know, I'm hoping it doesn't do. I did buy the stamp set that was recommended with it because I've got grandchildren. I love getting those types of stamp set. So it's an excellent one because you can use lots of those dies on their own. You don't need to use it as Give It a Whirl ones. Right, so this is what I've done so far. Now I just want to again cut some more pieces out. So these are just scrap pieces, and the scrap is just 2 inches wide. So just pick up scraps and just place your die over it to see whether it is the right size. So that's my size, because I'm going to cover a couple of my top like triangle cheese things. So there you go. And so I've got that one cut out ready, and then I've chosen this one that I'm going to use. You do use any DSP. This is quite old DSP that I'm using, but because it had got red in, I thought it's quite Christmassy, so I'm going with that. Any reds basically for Christmas, in my opinion. So I've got that. Okay, right, I think I've finished with my die cutting machine, so I'll just put my dies out of the way a minute. Let's get my machine out of the way, and then hopefully I'm just gonna pick this up again. Sorry, that's better. Oh, it's done it again. Having trouble with my phone lately of locking, doing silly things. Right, so on the white, I'm just gonna rub over, because I've used something sticky. I'm just gonna rub over to make sure none of that stickiness is left on there, and do it the same with my soft succulent one. That's it. And then my soft succulent one, I'm just going to cover the 2 triangular pieces with my DSP. So I'm going to pop those right on the top, and you've got that guide of exactly where to stick them. So there we go. And then this one as well. So it was lovely DSP this was. I think I bought 2 packets of it. So just make sure that they're even. So oops, that one slipped. So I'm just following the guidelines to make sure that I've got it where I want it. Okay, so that is on like that, and then we're going to stamp on this one now. So you want to just use anything that will fit on your actual bit, and you can clearly see how much space you've got. So I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use real red for the actual Santa Claus is coming to town. Now that Santa Claus coming to town is from the, I always want to call it Santa Express, it's not. So I'm just gonna see that. There we go, lovely. And I've got a Merry Christmas. So I'm going to stick my Merry Christmas. Now the Merry Christmas is out. I keep telling you about this card kit that I bought. It's from, this is the one, and the lovely stamp set that you got with it. You got a lovely verse with it. Said, wish you a season filled with special warmth of friendship, the precious joy of sharing, and a wonderful blessing of happiness. And you've got to you and yours, season's greeting, and Merry Christmas. Now this Merry Christmas I have used tons. I've made DSP with this pine cone and the foliage here and the berries, It's a fantastic kit. It's in clearance. It's well worth having because the amount of cards I've made, and I'm still using it. And I always will. Christmas time, you'll see me get this out because the Merry Christmas is just a lovely size for so many things. Now, what I've decided is I'd put the Merry Christmas close to the top, and then I've got Enjoy, and this is from which one is it? Oh, it's from the Time for Tea set. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So, and I've got Merry Christmas, because it's going to be filled with chocolates, Enjoy. Okay, let me pop that out of the way so I don't make a mess anywhere. So I'll just show you the stamp set. It's Cup of Tea, sorry. It's Cup of Tea, and it's got this little Enjoy in it. Where is it? It's there, look. The little Enjoy. So I just think this is wonderful set. This is something I'll use year in, year out. All the stamp sets I buy, I'm afraid I don't buy them for a season and sell them on. I keep all my stuff going back and using everything that I've bought, because I look for, I don't buy kind of what's current and a fad. I look at things and think, oh yes, I really like that. I can see me using that a lot. So I'm just going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to bring, I think I'll do it on this one, some pine cone in there. And I think I will put some on there. Gonna bring that down there, and then get rid of that one. And I want this lovely foliage. Now I did bring Evening Evergreen, I know I did, here it is. I'm going to do it in the darker shade, but I think I'm going to see, I'm going to go stamping off, I think. So gonna have that go in there and stamp it off, and gonna go the other side there. Okay, so I've got my foliage and my pine cones on there, and then I'm gonna do the same on the other one. I'm gonna bring that out there, stamp off, and bring the foliage out there. So we've got that nice and Christmassy going off there. Okay, let me close my stamp. I love the Stampin' Spots. I buy a lot of these and the re-inkers to ink up. And a tip for you, store them that way. All our stamp pads, you think, are being stored the right way, but if you just open the lid, you can see that our stamp pads are always stored so that the ink is coming down to the top of the surface, so they give you better stamping experience all the time. I really love our stamp pads. And of course you've got these 4 little holes in, they stack beautifully one on top of each other, and of course you've got the stickers at the bottom that you stick on there and you stick inside, sorry, there, and so they you can see what you've got. So I, as I say, store my mini inks the same, so it gives you a better stamping experience. Right, now what we need to do is we need to stick this down. So I'm bringing back my box, and I'm going to match up my window exactly, and I'm going to stick this down now. So just put your glue, make sure you're getting it all around the edge, because this doesn't want to move, this wants to stay. I don't know what that is just there, but never mind. And then I'm going to bring that in so that that window is exactly covered. like that. So, and you can see the hole through is exactly where it should be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I've got some tear and tape, and what I'm going to do with my tear and tape is tear a little bit off and put that down the side there, and a little bit more down there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take this off. That's good. And put my soft succulent one on. I'm going to get my brad, whatever I did with it, or am I getting another one out? No, there it is. So I'm going to get my brad. Now, if you've got a red, I don't have a real red. I have Poppy Parade, and I didn't know what it would look like. So just going to make sure that you can see now where I stuck those, and I'm opening up the brad, and it's going to stick down on there. That will stop your brad, and then I'm going to get a piece of tear and tape for the top. You could probably use less than what I've done, not looking at it, but I'm going to then put it on the top like that. Let's just, and I'm not going to take off the top bit. Okay, if you've got any showing, just rub it off so none of your sweets stick to it. But that now is going to hold my brad in place, so that when I use my wheel to reveal my Merry Christmas and Joy and Santa is coming to town, then my brad is staying put and it's not coming over here. Okay, and you're just going to be able to twist that around to see. Right, so let's get on and make our box. So I'm going to bend my tab in and going to get my glue and cover this. Now you could use tear and tape if you wanted to. I'm not, I'm just going to adhere it with my wet glue. So I've bent my tab in, and I'm going to bring my top over, make sure that my fold lines are adhering to one another, and then I'm just going to press that down. Okay, this goes down. Okay, and then pop your box, so it's like that. Now I always look, so that's going to be our back. So I'm going to flatten it back down, and I'm going to see which way my lines are going, because we want another 3 3/8 by 3 3/8, and I'm going to stick this on the bottom. Okay, and I'm just, because my paper is directional, just going to check again that my stripes are going that way. So I need my stripes going this way, and just give it that equal increment all the way around, and then just press that down. Okay, right, so we've got the bottom of the box. I'm just going to go over that, and we can get away with putting the sides on as well. So this is 3 3/8 by 1 3/8. And you want 4 of these for all 4 of your sides. So while it's flat and the side ones are flat, I'm going to stick it on because I can see it following. Let's see. Now to get your paper, so as I've got my paper, you can see that my paper is absolutely lining up. Now how you do that is the width of whatever you're doing. So I'm just bringing a piece in to show you. So the width, I needed a width of 3 3/8. So I cut my 12 by 12, that 3 by 3/8, and then I turn it in my trimmer and I needed a square that was 3 3/8. Then I cut my next one, which is 1 3/8, and then my next one that is 3 3/8, and then my 1 3/8. I think I got, out of the length of 12, I've got the two top and bottom panel and just 3 of the sides, so I had to cut another one to get the next one out. But that's how to match your pattern. And oh, fortunately I have done it, and I forgot to do it, didn't I? But I've done it, so that's really fortunate because I forgot to check that. Right, so this is the same, so I'm going to be able to put this in the same way as well. Obviously yeah, these two ends, it will not be matching because it will be the other way, but we can get those matched up. There we go. So that's it. Right, now this will be coming over, so that's my last piece to put down. So what I like to do is I like to put my bottom one in, then my 2 tabs, and that over the top. I just feel that when it's inside it's neater, so I like to do it that way. You do it whichever preference. If you prefer to put these in and then a top and a bottom, you can do. This is the way I prefer. So this is coming down the top, so just making sure that I get right to the end. So plenty of glue on there, and then I'm just going to put it down, and I'm just going to go in with my bone folder and just make sure that that's in there, glued in there. And then we've got this that I'm going to put on like that. So if you can just see that just slightly is coming over the edge, which means that is where you can spin it, because you've got that edge piece coming over there. So let's put those on there like that. That's it, and then we'll put these. So make sure that's going to come down, so I want that one up, and then just checking these. Yep, that's fine. So that one, put some glue all the way on these tabs, so push them down, and then I'm going to put them on the top side here. And then I'm going to use my reveal holder. I'm just going to go in with my bone folder. So just managing to poke that in there either way. That will just give me that little bit there to be able to do that. Sneaky. Right, okay. Now, what I want to put in here is some chocolates, obviously. Now, Ferrero Rochers will not fit in here, so I'm using some of the celebrations. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, sorry, 6, 7, and that's 7 in, 8, so I've got 8 in there. I think I'm going to leave it, oh, I've got one more, 9, so I'm squashing 9 in there. Okay, and then we can close that up. So Santa Claus is coming to town. I think I'm going to leave it on Merry Christmas in Joy, so we can bring it round and then open up and you'll be able to get them out. They just pick them out because you've got a big enough gap there to go in with your fingers and pick them out. So they could go that way or they could go that way, but I'm going to leave it on the Merry Christmas Enjoy. And then they've got the opportunity to slide that round and do that. Now, if you want to, you could decorate your top even more. If you want to, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, I haven't stuck, sorry. I haven't stuck the last one on. Can't be doing that. So got the last one to stick on. So let's have a look. I think that's okay. Let's have a look at that side. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it needs to be the other way. So that we've got a white bit there. I think that's fine. I'm just going to do that. So it's a nice depth there. As I say, Ferrero Rochers are just a bit too fat to stick in it. What the little limp balls would be great to stick in there. As I say, the Heroes Celebrations, Quality Streets, Cadbury's Roses a bit. So lots of chocolates will fit in there. To do it, but I just thought that was a neat thing with the Give It a Whirl die. So thank you very much, Emma, for inspiring me. But that's great. I just love that, and it even goes round with your fingers, so you can easily do it with your fingers. Santa Claus is coming to town. So yeah, I really like that. So thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate that you've stopped by. If you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe to me so that you won't miss any of my uploads, because I don't come on a certain time and a certain day. I come on when I've got the opportunity to get on and do that. So thank you very much. Stay safe, stay well. God bless. Bye for now.